If the Bunker household had a mission statement, it would probably read, "No change goes unchallenged, and no conversation ends quietly." In this house, even good news needs to brace itself before walking in. So when Gloria announces she's pregnant, the words barely have time to settle in the air before Archie Bunker reacts like someone just suggested replacing gravity with a suggestion. A baby, to Gloria and Mike, is a future. To Archie, it's a disruption, one that comes bundled with opinions he did not authorize. At first, Archie does what he always does when confronted with joy that makes him uncomfortable. He pretends to misunderstand it. He asks questions that aren't really questions, just small verbal grenades tossed into the room. How long has she known? Are they sure? Did a doctor say this? Or is this another one of Mike's ideas? Edith beams with grandmotherly delight, already imagining tiny socks and soft blankets, while Archie scans the situation for danger like a man expecting a surprise inspection. Then comes the real problem. Not the baby, the plan. Gloria calmly explains that she wants a natural birth, and that Mike will be with her in the delivery room. The words land on Archie like an insult written in medical terminology. He doesn't hear support. He hears invasion. In Archie's world, childbirth is something that happens behind closed doors, preferably without discussion and definitely without husbands. The idea that Mike wants to be present makes Archie squint, as if he's trying to see a trick hidden inside the sentence. Mike, being Mike, tries to explain it logically. He talks about partnership, about being there for Gloria, about sharing responsibility from the very first moment. Archie hears none of this. Logic slides right off him. What he hears instead is that traditions are being questioned, roles are being blurred, and someone is messing with the invisible rulebook he's been carrying around his entire life. To Archie, this isn't about childbirth, it's about order. And order, in his mind, requires strict lines and absolutely no improvisation. Edith attempts to bridge the gap the way she always does. She gently mentions that things are different now, that fathers sometimes want to be involved, that it can be comforting. Archie looks at her like she just suggested rearranging the furniture in the middle of a fire drill. Comfort, to Archie, is overrated. He grew up in a world where discomfort was considered character building. Gloria doesn't retreat. Pregnancy has given her a new kind of steadiness, and she speaks with quiet confidence. This is her body. This is her experience. This is how she wants it. Mike backs her up without raising his voice, which somehow makes Archie even angrier. Archie prefers shouting. Shouting feels honest. Calm disagreement feels suspicious. Just when the argument reaches that familiar Bunker volume, loud enough to be heard by neighbors who have learned to tune it out, Archie introduces a second crisis, because one crisis is never enough. Archie announces that he doesn't feel well. Not a little off, not tired, but seriously unwell. He describes vague symptoms with dramatic precision, connecting dots that don't exist, building a case for his own doom. In Archie's mind, this is no coincidence. Of course he gets sick right now. Of course his body chooses this moment to betray him. Life, to Archie, is always conspiring. Edith suggests calling the doctor, because that's what normal people do. Archie agrees in theory, but immediately grows irritated by the process. The answering service confuses him. The recorded voice annoys him. He treats the phone like it's personally responsible for his discomfort. Edith carefully leaves a message, apologizing politely to the machine, repeating the address, her voice gentle and hopeful. Archie listens and scoffs. To him, waiting is weakness. Deciding he cannot possibly wait, Archie storms off to a clinic. The clinic represents everything he distrusts: modern systems, shared spaces, rules that apply equally to everyone. He walks in expecting immediate attention and is greeted instead by a waiting line. Archie reacts as if the line has insulted his ancestors. He announces his condition loudly, hoping volume will upgrade his position. The staff remains calm, unimpressed, and unmoved. This infuriates Archie more than anything else. He's being treated like everyone else. When he finally sees a doctor, Archie unleashes his entire theory. He explains how he was near someone, how something happened, how he's sure it's serious. He speaks with the confidence of a man who believes certainty can substitute for evidence. The doctor listens patiently, examines him, and delivers the worst possible verdict for Archie. There's nothing seriously wrong. No dramatic illness. No emergency. Just anxiety, stress, and a body reacting to fear. Archie does not find this reassuring. In fact, he finds it insulting. If he's not sick, then what has all this worry been for? Archie wants his panic to be justified. He wants the world to confirm that his fear was correct. Being told he's fine feels like being told his feelings were inconvenient. Back at home, the pregnancy debate resumes, now layered with Archie's wounded pride. He brings up religion, tradition, the way things are supposed to be, using them like shields against a future he doesn't recognize. Gloria asks thoughtful questions that Archie doesn't want to answer. Why should something natural be hidden? Why shouldn't a husband support his wife? Why does change automatically mean something bad? Archie responds the only way he knows how, with jokes that sound like jokes, but function like walls. He mocks the idea of modern fathers, turning vulnerability into punchlines. Humor, for Archie, is armor. If he laughs at something, he doesn't have to admit it scares him. And that's the truth humming beneath all the noise. Everyone is afraid. Gloria is afraid of losing control over her own experience. Mike is afraid of being shut out. Edith is afraid of conflict tearing the family apart. And Archie is afraid that the world he understands is slipping away, one modern idea at a time. He just expresses that fear by yelling at it. The comedy comes from how exaggerated Archie's reactions are compared to the reality of what's happening. A baby is coming. A husband wants to be present. Medicine is calm and boring. None of this is catastrophic. Yet Archie treats each development like it's the beginning of the end. He doesn't adapt quietly. He resists loudly. And still, in the midst of all this, something holds the family together. They don't walk out. They don't stop talking. They argue. Yes, but arguing in this house is a form of connection. Gloria and Mike stand their ground. Edith keeps offering kindness like a peace offering that never runs out. Archie grumbles, complains, and refuses to budge, but he stays in the room. By the end, nothing is fully resolved. The baby is still coming. The birth plan is still modern. Archie is still Archie. But the house hasn't collapsed. The family hasn't shattered. They remain a noisy, stubborn, mismatched group bound together by history and habit, and something that looks suspiciously like love. Because in the Bunker household, progress doesn't arrive as a quiet realization. It arrives as a fight. It arrives as discomfort. It arrives as an argument that goes on too long and ends without a clear winner. And somehow, through all the shouting and sarcasm, life keeps moving forward anyway, dragging Archie Bunker along with it, whether he's ready or not.